So what's up, YouTube? This is Jeff here with another bike overview. Probably don't need to say too much about this bike. I know I've videoed this bike quite a few times. This is the update, or actually, I'm going to give you, I guess, the full bill on this bike. This is a Poseidon X. I bought it to replace the sprayed out bike Raleigh, which was a mullet build for gravel, and I wanted a real gravel bike. So I did some research, found the Poseidon X frame set, and I bought it. Of course, it was originally anodized black, and I did a little bit of a custom paint job on it. I was going to do sprayed out bike, but I decided to paint. So this is a medium frame. When I originally purchased it, it was quick release. So I did do the quick release upgrade, and I'll go into those parts just briefly. This bike is, I guess, the only bike in my stable that is themed and has a theme name. So this bike has been called Kratos, and I guess you can see why. And I'm paying homage to the original God of War Kratos for you younger people. And I even printed up some fake UCI stickers. Kratos and the frame 1270. That's my birth month and year. So yes, your brother's 53 years old. So starting with the cockpit, I have a Redshift stem in 19 millimeters, and that is connected to a pair of Redshift kitchen sink bars, 42 at the drops, about 40 at the top. With the with my shifters tilted in, I can get them to 38. Not quite used to this, but I'm just gonna have to make it work. This is a Originate out front mount that got a Kratos treatment. So leftover bike paint, a little bit of heat, a little bit of paint thinner to get it to react. And so that's how I got the bubble burned up look. So that is intentional. I wanted that to be bubble and burned up. A second set of Elite cages that I had that were gray never fit any bike, so I did the same thing. Took leftover paint, little heat, a little dribbling, a little sand in here, and did the same process. Original headset from Poseidon. I did have to order a second port in order to go to quick release, but it was well worth it. This is a Easton seat post in aluminum. That is probably the last upgrade I'm going to make. I may go to a carbon post. This is a Physique Aliante versus Zero. This was originally on the TCR, but it is on the wide side for me. And so I moved it over just to make use out of it. And you can see there's a little beauty strip that matches the paint job. And I had some Poseidon logos printed because I was going to replace the logos on the bike, but I didn't. And I slapped that on. Just some useless history. I used the KOM mount that is on the Miata that goes between 3 bikes, and the same Orion blinky light that's not on there. And I don't have it on, but the Velocomp Power Pod, again with a Wahoo cadence sensor, and then the Wahoo speed sensor will go on to give me power. The Poseidon skewers, haven't upgraded those yet. TRP Spire rotors, same wolf tooth lock rings, and all the other little red bits. Stem cap, bar end plugs, seat post clamp. They're all wolf tooth accessory or wolf tooth components. Bar tape is Thick Wrap by Wow, I can't remember, but it is called thick wrap, very thick. Underneath here, I have the wolf, not the wolf tooth, the Redshift cruise control system. I don't have the drop system, but just the top system. And that's a nice place to rest my hands. The Redshift bars are on the thin side, so that's much needed. And I needed something thick and long, giggity, to wrap that. Excuse me. Drivetrain is 105 shifters that were left over from the TCR. And the rest is a combination of road and, well, actually, everything is road. So R8000 Ultegra front derailleur, RX 800 clutch derailleur with a wolf tooth road link in order to let me get to that 46, which is on an XT cassette. So clutch derailleur that I rarely use, and then an R8000. It's actually a road crank, and it is a 4836. Excuse me, 4636. I always mess that up. 4636. My original M5 PD520s. May change these one day. And like I said in my other video, get a set of Aciomas and dual bodies and switch back and forth. But yeah, we'll get there when we get there. I'm not doing that until the power pod dies. And for braking, R8000 Ultegra calipers. I can't get this to focus because, yeah. Wheel set, Hunt Gravel Race, 35 millimeter rim depth, 22 millimeters internal, 700C aluminum, and I'm running Cinturato Gravel M and 40C. Great light wheel set. This wheel set is actually lighter than both of my road wheel sets. So it is, if I remember correctly, 1,425 grams, which is pretty good. Thought about doing a carbon replacement, but all the carbon replacements weigh about the same. And I have beat these wheels to death. Right now, I am 206, and I jump them. I go through dishes, I hit rocks, I jump curbs, I hit sticks, whatever's roots, whatever's on the trail. I don't even think about it. I don't baby them, and they have held up. The paint. Oh boy. So the paint, about a month and a half long project. Stripped the original paint down, shaved the Poseidon logos, and did a base coat, which is an undercoat, black undercoat, the color coat that you see here that I'm not going to name, and then 2 coats of 2K clear. That was followed by a few days of wet sanding at different grits, and then compounding, buffing, and then sealing. So I have a sealant on here that is hydrophobic and also keeps dust away. So this is a chromo coat paint, and if I can get it to do all of the shifts, it goes from kind of blackish to a gray to a purple to a orange. There's a gold, and the color that kind of stands out the most is kind of a blood red-ish burgundy. I know it's on a gravel bike, but this has been my kind of like my crash test dummy since I got rid of the original sprayed out bike project bike. So that's it. For bags, I have ORR cycling frame bags, and I also still have my original speed sleeves that are probably in one of my older videos. I have my speed sleeve bar bag, my speed sleeve saddle bag, and then the ORR bags. But that just goes to show how well those Speed Sleeve bags are made, and I still stand by those if you're interested in getting some bags. So I think I've about covered it all. Frame up build. This is the first bike that I cut and bled hydraulics on. And for the money, it in its stock form was a great bike. Currently the X is not available. They do have the X Ambition, which has a little bit taller head tube for a more relaxed position. This frame geometry is more of a cyclocross frame, so it can be a little twitchy even though it's got a nice trail on it. But I do find that sometimes I have to fight with this bike. Set up tubeless, my muck off valves that I've pretty much stuck on every bike now. Little Jaguar frame protection, and internally the Jaguar sleeves are slid about halfway up into the frame. And I think that is going to be it for this bike. Well, that's it, friends. I am out of bikes to review. I am, because this is one of the few times been able to get the paint. I'm going to do a flyby. Until next time, peace.